Hey race fans, this is a replay, but to be able to watch live and hear from the drivers and see the pre and post race reaction, download and subscribe to the Trans Am app. Available on both Android and iOS, this is the only place to watch the 2021 season of Trans Am live, with over 10 hours of coverage each and every weekend. Live timing, results and news, as well as pre and post interviews, as our global live stream takes you to the heart of the action. To subscribe, download the Trans Am app or scan the QR code to be part of the fastest growing series in America. Subscriptions for the race weekend are just $9.99 and $59.99 for a full season. So come and join us for the 2021 season on the Trans Am app, the only way to see the races live and get your muscle car media. A very, very strong TA2 field, and it really is unpredictable as to who will win. Sam Mayer will be the pole man. He will lead them across the strip for the first time and see if he can hold on to that lead. Franklin Futrelle is right there as well as they head off. And a good start from Futrelle as he comes across Sam Mayer's bows and takes the lead of this race. Nicely done. Merrill will try round the outside. Rafa Matos might follow him through, but Mayer slots into second place. Merrill in third at the moment. Matos hung out to dry on the marbles, almost loses it, but we're on board with Rafa Matos as he gathers it all together and slots into, what, fifth place at the moment?
It looked like Connor grabbed a little bit of that curbing there to come get the start. It's super, super slick, still wet, and I think that cost him that position to Franklin. Franklin got an outstanding start, and really, really good start to this TA2 race here at Road Atlanta.
Well, Franklin Futrelle was a former instructor here at Road Atlanta, so he knows the track like the back of his hand, and he kind of bumped into us, if you will, this time last year in November at this race and put on a podium display then. So we knew he was good as we see Tommy Shearhand going through in the all-yellow 97. Doug Peterson just behind him as we go on board with Adrian Lostoski.
Tell us what you're seeing here, Adam.
So inside here, this is the long straightaway here at Road Atlanta. This is the time where you're catching your breath from the rest of the lap, getting that speed up. It's a long straightaway. I mean, you can do your taxes on that straightaway. It's a good long time. Ooh. That's a good pass down the inside here on Matos from Skeen. Nice clean pass. That's the best passing zone around this whole racetrack. It starts all the way back there, coming onto that back straightaway.
So a good clean start and a very aggressive start by all of our competitors. They've been waiting all weekend for this moment, and the conditions are actually perfect now. The track is fully dry. There is clouds in the air, but I don't think we're going to see any more rain. Let's hope not anyway, because we want a good clean race.
Yeah, these conditions are going to bring a lot of grip in the track for this race. These Pirelli tires are really going to grab a hold of that, and I think we're going to see qualifying laps for 100 miles from this TA2 field, and that's going to be exciting for all of us watching.
Yeah, no question about it. And there really is a lot of good stories here. Thomas Merrill put on a great show at Sebring. Rafa Matos denied that win. Will be determined. Somebody asked, I think it was you, Ben, that said, who's my money on? Who's smoking there?
Jim Gallagher. Jim Gallagher in that red Ford Mustang. Mike Cope is smoking. There he is, number 16. Is that engine or tires? Looks like engine.
That looking like it's coming from the engine bay itself. It doesn't look like it's laying down a trail of anything, but definitely want to get that thing offline and make sure you're not oiling down this track if it does get to that for the rest of the competitors.
As we watch Keith Prochek on Rhett Barco there.
So it's Futrelle right now with Sam Mayer, the pole man, behind him. And then in third place, Thomas Merrill. Here comes Rafa Matos.
Well, Lagacy was looking in there.
Yeah, I think Rafa seems to not be getting on that straightaway as well. Maybe not getting on to the straightaway as well as some of these other cars that are around him that he's racing with.
I got to brag on my buddy Scott Lagacy Jr. too in Team SLR. That car was a pile of steel tubing 3 weeks ago, and now here it is at Michelin Raceway Road Atlanta in the top 5.
It's impressive, isn't it, what that group does with Lagacy with those M1 race cars? It's a really fantastic thing they're doing. They're making great advancements and putting some great talent out on that racetrack. So,
yeah, he's got his teammate Connor Mosack right behind him.
Yeah, and and he always knows Scott. Scott's always doing R&D for his team. So he always got something on there that's not proven, and that's what makes you really love the guy as a competitor, because he's really out there to make the best for those that are around him and his customers too.
I was reading up on the press release that Mike Arning put out about the Lagacy team, and Lagacy admitted that although he's still a hard charger, he loves putting back into the team and helping the youngsters and learning and teaching them the data. In comes Gallagher, and obviously problems for that car.
He had bad luck here last year. He just happened to collect a spin here in the front straight with Michelle Abadi. So hope we can get back out there. But look at the in-car here. Watch Adrian's hands on the left there as we look at Mike Skeen coming down the hill with Rafa right behind him as Connor Mosak gets around his teammate and owner, Scott Lagasse.
And that'd have been one of those deals, too, where they know each other that well that Scott might have been one of those things where, hey, you're faster than me right now. I'd like to be behind you with this stuff and see if I can't see a little bit of what you're doing. You have a great driver in Misha Goikenberg right behind you, too, there, Scott Lagasse Jr.
Good, clean start, and everybody really pushing on there as we look at Scott Lagasse in the number 92. Back on board with Rafa Matos, who's trying to make up some places now. Matos currently in 5th place.
Got a car stopped on track here. Doesn't look like it's going to be in a position where I think that they would have to throw a full course
That's
caution.
Ricky Sanders.
Yep.
Old school TA2. Been with TA2 since 2012.
Yes, sir.
But, that's number 19, Ricky Sanders, right there, beginning of turn 6. But I haven't heard anything from race control. We're showing, is that a local yellow up there?
It'd probably be a local, I would think. You know, it's not it's not a super dangerous spot to be in. Off to the left, you can see there's an opening in the wall there with an orange wall that they have us look for too, because there's places that you can go that are safe, and they can keep the action going.
Now explain what we're looking at here with the acceleration and the braking and all the RPMs.
So Doug Peterson right there, he was going down that long back straightaway, so obviously the accelerator was all the way down full. You're limited to 6,800 RPM here in the TA2 car. So usually you're going to shift maybe even 100 revs earlier than that, so you don't hit the rev limiter. What a great race up here in the top 3. And then you got a little bit of a gap, and then you got another 5-6 cars that really are right there on top of each other.
Misha Goikenberg, as always, part of the action in the number 10. Flames coming out of Merrill's car as he dives into one again, and up the hill goes Sam Mayer. Sam Mayer, of course, remembered for that Road America accident last year where he burst into flames.
Those aren't the ones you want to be remembered for, though, Jonathan. But yeah, I can understand. Those are memorable.
He'd prefer I remembered his truck race win at Bristol recently.
There you go. Sure.
And there's no love lost between Sam Mayer and Thomas Merrill. Had a great battle at Daytona where Sam dropped back to the back of the pack, worked his way all the way up to finish right behind Thomas Merrill at Daytona. And Thomas Merrill right now right behind Sam Mayer.
Adam, we talked about this at Sebring. It's a double-edged sword, this kind of racing, because you're over an hour, so it feels like an endurance race, or at least physically it must feel like an endurance race, and yet you're really 9/10, if not 10/10 the whole way. How do you pace yourself?
It's, you know, that's a big challenge. It's all about where you're at in that day, how your car is driving, you know, how the other cars around you are driving as well, on how much you really want to absolutely push these. These Pirelli make such a good tire that you can turn these guys loose, and they're going to run, you know, qualifying laps, like I said earlier, one on top of each other, and that's what they're showing us here today. And you know, I'm seeing Futrelle. Futrelle seems to like get through this first half of the lap better than Mayer. Then Mayer seems to get the second half of the lap a little bit better. So it'll be very interesting to see how this develops over the course of this race.
Well, a cracking start to this one. Go ahead, Ben.
Then we have two TA2 champions battling it out with Mike Skeen and Rafa Matos.
Right, yeah, you can't go wrong there. That's always going to be a good show.
That's a beautiful car right there. Adrian Lostowski with his Hawk Performance Fast Auto. That's good livery on that.
It does stand out. He's coming up here to the top of the hill, turn 3. Going to check out, start the S's here. That's to find they're blind right until here, and then all of a sudden they come to your life. You stay up along the curb down the left side to get a good straight line down here. That was a real mess for us in the TA race. There was a river going down.
Yeah.
That was sketchy about every time he came through there.
Yeah, it's dried up. And I spoke to Scott Borchetta, who is actually now 21st. Started it last. He had to change his tires from qualifying, but he was out in our Group 6 in his Corvette and really just using it as strategy, like looking around to see where he can go on the track.
Yeah,
it's real
really
smart.
Yeah, no, that's very smart. So yeah, Adrian's looking good and calm inside the wheel, inside the car there behind the wheel, and that's exactly what you want out of your driver when you're only on lap 6 of these 40.
Oh, this is starting to get good.
Sam Mayer wants him at 12, I think.
Yeah, Futrelle Under pressure now.
Yeah, you know, but watch this. So once Futrelle gets into turn 1, you're going to see that gap grow again. That's what I've been seeing from lap to lap.
So is Sam just out breaking him into 10?
Sam was really getting good drive through the second half of the lap. Now, you know, Sam's been behind Franklin for a couple laps, so he's probably picked up on maybe what Franklin's doing here in the first half of the track.
Well, this is the closest Sam Mayer has been, and Thomas Merrill waiting for either one to make a mistake. But Sam Mayer all over the back of Franklin Futrelle now as they head down towards the S's and 5 again, and back up the hill they'll come in a moment.
Yeah. Sam Mayer is in a sandwich of Skip Barber instructors right now who have a lot of time here at Michelin Raceway Road Atlanta.
Absolutely. It seems to me like just by looking at the car through the S's that our leader here, Franklin, is struggling with the front end a little bit. The front end's starting to slide on him. It's not as positive as it was at the beginning. So he's going to want to take care of that, make sure he doesn't get those Pirellis too hot and keep them back in balance, and he'll be fine. He'll be fine. He knows what he's doing out there.
I spoke to his team at the grid, and they were not happy with qualifying second. They said, we're still learning a lot, have a lot to learn, and I love teams with that kind of spirit.
Oh, they were a blast. They were paddocked right behind us all weekend long. A great group of individuals. With their mentality, they're club racers that are having a lot of fun at this pro level.
See how he's closing the gap there in the brake zone.
Well,
and then he doesn't have to pull off.
Yeah, I think what we're getting in, what we're seeing a lot of there too is, like I said, is the front end is not working as great on that 58 car as it did right off the bat, and he's having to slow the car down a little bit more to get through that chicane.
Well, this is all playing into the hands of Thomas Merrill, who's actually doing really well. He's just done his fastest lap at 125.3, almost identical to Sam Mayer. So Merrill very much in this. Skeen still 4th, and there's Rafa Matos in the 88. Went back to the three-dimensional services team this year, having raced for the Silver Hair team last year. And of course, this is the team he won his championship for.
I mean, this is just amazing. All the top 5 are, every one of them ran a 25.3 last lap. I mean, every single one of them.
Now, I can't remember if it was 2018 or 19, but Misha Goikberg and Scott Lagasse Jr. had contact at 1. So there's no love lost between those two, and they are nose to tail right there in about 5th or 6th position.
You know, they're both tough competitors. They're both sharing a racetrack with both of them. They're some of the toughest to get around, honestly. So I can imagine that there is no love lost there. You know, they find each other to be a big challenge, and when you have that, sometimes when both of you are so difficult, so good at this sport, and you're so difficult to pass, sometimes that's what happens. A little bit of paint gets traded.
Good battle here, starting to evolve between Mike Skeen and Rafa Matos. Skeen got past him early on. Matos now starting to make a move on getting closer to the back of Mike Skeen in the Liqui-Moly car.
Yeah, that group's looking really good. I'm actually gaining a little bit of time on that front 3 group as well. So.
We lost Misha. Where did Misha go?
We did lose Misha, yeah. We'll keep an eye.
There he is.
Okay, so he's either had a problem.
Misha with BC race cars out of Canada.
Yeah, that lap was a 139, so he's
definitely had a problem.
Either had an issue or maybe he gone straight somewhere, caught a wet spot, because there are still wet spots around here.
Look at how fast Sam Mayer looks right now.
Yeah, he's definitely on a mission. Right now he's feeling really comfortable, I think, in 2nd place and not showing his hand right away. He knows what he has on Franklin, and there's no need. I mean, there's a lot of racing left. We're not even 10 laps into this. There's no need to show them all your tricks in the book.
I said this at the qualifying grid yesterday, but I think 5-10 years from now, we're going to brag about the fact that Sam Mayer was in the Trans Am Series.
I think so too. He's an incredible young talent, and he's been spotted, right? You know, General Motors has obviously their sharp eye on him, and rightfully so. Really impressive talent.
Adam, we were working on a theory when we talked a little bit about it at Sebring. Now with more road courses involved in NASCAR itself, both Xfinity and Cup cars, of course, they're going to Coda in May, and several more now on the list and on the calendar. Are we going to see more youngsters like Sam Mayer learning and learning themselves on road courses?
I think so, absolutely. I mean, it is. This is very economical for you to get involved with, to get the laps that you need in a car that's going to be very comparable to what you're going to be in the NASCAR world. So I think we're going to see that. We're going to see the talent come through here. We're going to see manufacturers, when they have talent that they're really hot on, like a Connor Mosack, that they're going to push them to this. so that they can get this experience. But yeah, Connor is really filling up the mirror there, Franklin. They're having fun out there. I'm going to tell you right now, they're just having a blast.
Well, we often race with Xfinity at Mid-Ohio. We'll have a Christopher Bell in the past come and race with us and several others of the youngsters just to sort of get some more extra track time and then jump back into their Xfinity cars back in the day. Of course, Bell now in the Cup.
Yeah, absolutely. And Christopher Bell, yeah, I mean, a great talent. I mean, you're talking about talent that's come through Trans Am. He's amazing talent.
High above the Michelin Road Atlanta Raceway from the drone, getting a fantastic bird's eye view of the racing here.
Yeah, why is the safety lights on? Are we?
Safety car lights are on.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm getting word from race control right now. I just heard safety car stand up.
Okay,
full course yellow.
Oh, there is a full course yellow.
Yeah, it's all the
car at turn 1.
Okay. Yes, there's a car in the barriers heavily, and it could be Futrelle. Is that Futrelle?
Is that Franklin or Michael
Self?
Self?
It could be Michael Self. I think it possibly looks like Michael Self.
Well, it's a big off either way.
Camera
I can
1,
see.
pan left.
Don't you be having a go at my Hamish. He's doing the best he can.
I know.
Yeah, that's a heavy hit.
It's not Futrelle.
It's not Futrelle. It's definitely. It looks like it would be Michael Self. Don't want to talk too much before we're confirmed on that. Whoever it is, hope they're okay. That's a heavy driver's side hit into the tire barrier. Turn 1 here at Road Atlanta is very fast here at Michelin.
So we are under safety here after all that action, which was fast and frenetic.
And the safety car caught the wrong car. So hopefully we're going to get John Cloud and that Ultimate Headers Camaro around the safety car so that Franklin Futrelle can lead the field through there. But that's a beautiful blue Camaro there of John Cloud with Cobra Automotive.
It is such a beautiful color blue. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, it is.
Love that livery.
And I got to give it up for Scott Borchetta. We had a great shot of him and racing with Bruce Raymond. Scott Borchetta and Bruce Raymond go head-to-head in SVRA for Group 10 championship. And now here they are in going head-to-head in TA2.
Oh, that's very cool. That is very good. That's what we love about you, Ben, is your insights to that. No one knows these paddocks better than you.
Stuff,
It's the truth.
Yeah.
If Ben plays his cards right, he may get some Rafa Matos soap.
Yeah.
Which I possess right here.
Oh, you do? I'm interviewing Spencer.
If you want to smell like Rafa.
If you want to
I don't know
smell
about
like
that.
Rafa.
I think I'd rather smell like Doug Peterson, to be honest.
Well, it's Peterson Racing soap.
So there's a great story behind that.
Doug's on one side. You got Rafa on the other.
Spencer, I was speaking to him at the grid. We didn't get to do grid walk. I was going to interview him, but he had his bicycle stolen when he was 15, and then his dad bought him a new bike, but said, you have to pay me back. He started this company, and now that he's 19, it has taken off. And April being Autism Awareness Month.
That's right, yeah.
And he is on the spectrum. Spencer is on the spectrum, and this is his company and the soap that he makes. I think that's really
awesome. Very cool story,
That is totally cool.
So thanks, Doug Peterson, for bringing that to our attention.
Absolutely.
And that is the Rafa Matos signature soap series.
Lather yourself down with a bit of Rafa.
A bit of Rafa.
That's why when we go on board with Rafa, it smells so sweetly.
Yeah, right.
That's it.
Yeah, the essence.
Yeah, the essence of Rafa.
So I did notice right before that double yellow that Connor Mosack really caught to the back of Mike Skeen, and Scott Lagasse Jr. just fell off just a little bit. But as we ride on board with Doug Peterson, who brought us the soap, you can smell it.
Yeah.
It smells good.
It does.
This restart is going to be great.
Yes.
Look for Sam Mayer. Are you
Yes.
looking inside? Because I noticed on one of the restarts in the TA race, there's a little bit of blocking. What's the rules there? Like I know Formula One, you can make one move to block. Which way are you going on a restart if you're in second or third place? You going to the inside or outside?
Yeah, you can't be reactive.
Okay.
You can't let them make a move first and then you go. You can protect, but you can't be reactive is the way the rule is understood. And so yeah, the whole idea there is you protect your line. But turn 1 here, you got to be a little bit careful protecting the inside too much, because you can get a good run around the outside here, and you can take that away from that inside driver, the one that protected there, and a lot of times you can make that work going up the hill, because then it's a game of chicken, to start the S's there at the top of the hill. So and that can be a lot of fun too.
Yeah.
Now,
so
listen,
we let John Cloud go, so now it's back to Franklin Futrelle leading him down.
yeah, and I think we got a couple of laps of this because that car is very much ensconced into the wall or into the sidewall there at the exit of turn 1. So that does give me a chance to give away some serious swag here from Sunoco. We're going to give a swag bag from Sunoco away. You guys can't enter because I think you'll know the answer to this, but we've got a question for both TA and TA2. And for a chance to win, you need to go to transampr@gotransam.com. I'll repeat that, transampr@gotransam.com. And our questions are, in TA, who won 3 straight years at Road Atlanta in 3 different classes? And just a little, you know, we were talking about Adam winning in 3 different marks, but this is 3 straight years at Road Atlanta in 3 different classes. So send the answer of that to transampr@gotransam.com. And our TA2 question is, in what year and at what racetrack did Rafa Matos win his first TA2 race? And Ben, I think, knows the answer. So you'll have to write under a pseudonym. Get your kids to write it.
Little known fact, I am a huge Rafa Matos fan. I still have his poster on my wall.
Would you like some soap?
I do. Yeah, you said that. I was really jealous.
Okay, no, I've got this for you. I'm going to open it up and I'm going to present you.
In our grid walk at Sebring, you know, Adam Andretti, as we all know, is a very good-looking guy, but so is Rafa Matos. He is a very fine-looking fella.
Block of soap for you.
Adam's afraid to agree with me, but he did nod.
No, I'm not disagreeing. I'm not disagreeing at all with you. You know, I think anyone who didn't recognize him as a fine-looking young man.
I have never seen a more nervous wife watching you race today.
Yeah, Tabitha was really watching
Tabitha was
everything.
really not happy.
Well, like I said, everyone stayed up, you know, till 3 o'clock in the morning to get that thing, to give it its best effort, and unfortunately, we just didn't get through the gremlins. So I know that it was a heartbreak to them that we didn't have something that we could take to the true fight. But at the same time, I always give them all my heart, and that's what I did out there. We gave them everything that they had, and we got absolutely the best that we could get out of it with that P7. And at the end of the day, we said it as a team is.
Wait, hold on. We got a Komatsu out there getting overtaken by the field right now.
He's still in about the lead group, though, of 5th place at the moment. He's being chased also by a red fire truck. He's losing pace, though, down the main straight, and I think it's basically the aerodynamics of that truck.
Yeah.
Just not as good as the
drafting the field,
cars.
but it's not working. Sorry, Adam, to interrupt.
No, you're fine. It looks like, I mean, they're going to have to do some wall rebuilding over there, so you're right. This is going to be definitely a timely caution that we're going to have here.
I was going to say, if you were on the radio now with your engineer, I mean, you're going by it, you can see these trucks going off, and clearly there's some major work to be done here. When you see a forklift truck going out there, you know that you're going to be sitting there going under caution for quite some time. So what would you be saying to your engineer?
Actually,
right now?
I just got word that they're coming into pit lane, so I'm going to go down there and see if they want me to do some interviews.
Okay, we'll take your soap with you, because you never know.
Yeah, for sure. So, yeah.
So, Adam, what would you, I mean, tactically, is there anything you maybe want from your engineer right now?
I mean, there's not much you can do. I mean, at this point, to stop into your pit stall, you're going to be giving up a position. So if you got good track position, there's nothing there. You're going to, you know, I have conversation with AJ Hendrickson, our owner and engineer, and he always has good tidbits for me. So if I've been struggling with either understeer or oversteer, he's got some ideas for me to do behind the wheel. On pace laps and things like that, or when we get restarted, and you implement those. And AJ, I can honestly say 100% of the time, anytime he's told me to implement that, it's been the right way to go. So those are definitely useful conversations. But as far as anything that you could change in the car itself, these things are set and ready to go. So maybe some encouragement, maybe something that they've seen on TV, a different line. Along those lines, but
what about mechanically? What are you worried about at this point in terms of going slow at this point? You're obviously, I mean, I guess the obvious thing is tire temperature.
Yeah, exactly. Hopefully nothing mechanically, right? We're only 13 laps into this.
What about engine heat?
So yeah, I mean, we shouldn't be there either. It's not all that hot outside, you know, unless you've run off here. Now I will say this. With the rain and everything that we've had, if you run off, you're going to pack that grill. The splitter's going to act like a lawnmower.
Yep.
And it's going to pack that grill full of stuff. And so you got to be really precise here. You can't even, you know, get a wheel wrong because you're going to, you know, run that risk. And then the overheating would be a risk. But, you know, at this point too, you know, you're going to be under caution. I'm actually kind of happy that they're parking them because I wouldn't like to see them keep running laps. You know, I'd like to see them park at this thing, get this thing all fixed up. It's better for the safety workers too. You know, they don't have to look over their shoulders every time they hear the rumble of these V8 engines coming around and things of that sort. So you tend to get...
Well, the one thing I can tell you is that although the cars will be coming into the pit lane, they cannot work on the cars under this circumstances. So,
correct.
Like you say, there's nothing much you could do except sit and wait.
Exactly. You know, Doug Peterson here, as you can see, they chug. These things are so hard. A race car is so hard to drive.
Slowly.
At slow speeds. Oh, yeah. Man, it's
uncomfortable.
Very uncomfortable. You know, you feel like you're breaking something, but it's everyone's going through it, right? So you're dipping the clutch a lot.
I want you to explain something to me. I saw Chris Dyson in qualifying, and I had Josh Hurley up here, and he explained it pretty good, but I want to talk about this. He was talking about the fact that he got what they call the bunny hop going into turn one. Tell me what that means technically, and because it was a situation where effectively it's engine braking almost.
Yeah.
And it basically caused him to go off into the gravel trap. Now, how do you avoid that?
So it's a rev match. So that's something Chris was struggling with at Sebring too. That's why he spun when he got the lead.
Turn 7, yeah.
Yeah. So it was the same thing. It's a rev match. So he runs a sequential gearbox, and in a sequential gearbox, it's an automatic rev match on the downshift. So if that falters, and you get mismatched revs. So basically,
and how do you adjust it to be right then?
Well, that happens with your engineers back underneath the tent there.
Yeah.
You know, it's not something really you can do, and nothing you can do in the cockpit at that point. So, so for what we have in our car, we run. You know, we're old school. We got a 4-speed H pattern, and you know, we're driving her in. You know, Boris, who won our race today at TA, same thing. Is that 4-speed H pattern, and with that, now you have to do the rev matching. So, so there's in my opinion, it obviously it takes more skill as a driver to have to do that. But to me, I think it's less risk for the wheel hop.
Yeah.
You know, we had engine issues all weekend, so honestly, I had a really difficult time rev matching my downshifts.
Right.
And I got real bad wheel hop in qualifying and ended up breaking an axle. So it's really hard on the cars mechanically if you get it. It can cause you to spin and crash. You know, there's a lot of things that can happen from wheel hop. So it's one of the things with the solid axle race car like a TA car and a TA2 car have. Mm-hmm. It is definitely one of the inherent things. And in a TA2 car, everyone has the 4-speed H pattern. So everyone has to do rev matching there. And that's what makes them such great fun race cars in the sense of learning and also having that skill set to go on anywhere. You know, you can go on drive anything from those, as opposed to if all you did was pull paddles your whole life and then someone threw you in a TA2 car.
Well, and Ben is down in the pits, and I hope you I'll tell you what, I did the trivia already, but I'll do it again. Why not? So this is our Sunoco swag opportunity, and that is to transampr@gotransam.com. Our 2 questions, one for TA, is who won 3 straight years at Road Atlanta in 3 different classes? Our TA2 question is in what year? And what track did Rafa Matos win his first TA2 race? So if you know the answer to both of those, there's a chance to win some Sunoco swag. Go to transampr@transam.com and give us your answers there. Email us and you can win some Sunoco swag. We think we know one of the answers up here, certainly. The first one I think is the tougher one.
The first one is a tough one. I think I know who that is, but it was yeah. I don't want to
don't give away anything.
Exactly. That's what it's kind of tricky here, right?
I'll cut Adam off and head down to Ben. He's down in the pit lane. Down to you, Ben.
Flag conditions, as per the rules, the drivers have to sit here and they wait. The crew is not allowed to come and touch any of the cars, and right now I know that the SLR team would love to fix that. It's just a little piece of tape, but per the rules they cannot. Sam Mayer, right now you look like you're the class of the field, and you're saying some things from Franklin. What's your strategy to get around him?
Yeah, I mean, just right now is clean air is so important. I'm really tight in through the S's just because of his dirty air that he's giving off. But overall, I think we have a really solid car. We have a car that can win, and I just got to find a way around him. This track, not a lot of whole opportunity to pass in these things, and just got to get him. He'll make a mistake eventually. I've seen him make a couple already, so we just got to pounce on and get that opportunity.
Nice. Well, Sam Mayer, very calculating there. And we've got Thomas Merrill here, very fast. I think he's in the catbird seat. Like I said, Franklin Futrelle, Thomas Merrill, both Skip Barber instructors, and Sam Mayer's in a sandwich right now. And I'm hearing word that they want me to walk through here right now. Rafa Matos looking really good, as is Mike Skeen. We're gonna have to get out of the way though. And then we're gonna go to 28 here. Connor Mosack looking really fast. Connor Mosack, I'm coming to you. Take the mic, tell me how it's going out there.
It's pretty good. We're just sitting here biding our time, and you know, I think we were catching the guys in front of us right there, so hopefully we'll get a good look at them on the restart and just see where we can go from there. But the car seems to just keep getting better every lap, so we should be there at the end.
So you think the car's coming to you then?
Yeah, for sure. It's a lot better than we've had in qualifying and practice too. We made some really good changes. So, you know, as the fuel burns off, I think that'll just help us out.
Nice. Awesome. Thank you. Connor Mosack, like I said, the field just keeps getting more and more stacked here as we look at his teammate and owner, Scott Lagasse Jr. right there. Looks like we got Jim Gallagher back up and running. I love it. But Jonathan, I'm going to give it back to you, send it back to you, because I think they're about to get going as I see Michael Self's car get towed back in. Thanks a lot, Jonathan.
I do love Ben Sissel. You know, I've been a pit reporter in MotoGP, in Formula One, you name it. But I've never been able to give the microphone to a driver while he's driving the car, or at least placed in the car, and then have him basically put the mic back to me so I can ask him a second question while I'm still not holding the mic. Ben, you're a legend. Now, what's going on with Doug Peterson, Adam? This doesn't look good.
Yeah, this is never good. You know, when they got the jack up and the jack stands under the car like that, this is usually something terminal. Looks like the door's off, and I would maybe Doug's already out of the car, it looks like. So yeah, this was a terminal issue for Mr. Peterson, which is a darn shame. Doug loves being out here. Such a fun competitor. He's always got a big smile on his face, and always has a bit of wisdom, if you will, if you want to call it that, to share each weekend. And I'm always it's always a treat just to see him and to spend a little bit of time with him. And puts a lot of passion into this. He loves Trans Am, and he loves this TA2 stuff. And he's got an eye for talent. He's got, you know, Rafa Matos in that 88 car, so he's always got that eye for that solid talent out there to help out.
So an early shower for Doug Peterson, but thankfully he's got some Rafa Matos soap.
Yes, yeah. I mean, they'll be clean over there. Yep. That's the most important
Cleaning
thing.
it up.
Clean and smelling nice.
That's it.
But no, I think it's a beautiful closet that is about, and what a wonderful story that Ben shared with us. Yeah, that was it's absolutely a beautiful thing.
Yeah, we've got some good stories actually this year. You've got your memorial. I think that car just absolutely pings on track. Your memorial to, of course, John Andretti, and I'm so glad you're running those colours again. Really, really good. And we've got good stories throughout the pit lane, and really, really impressive. I
say it all the time. It's this paddock that keeps bringing me back. I love this Trans Am paddock. It's a great group of people. Your competitors are wonderful people. They're people you want to, you know, spend time with. And after all, we live on the road when we do this job, and they become your extended family. So if they're people you don't enjoy being around, it makes it for a very long year. And that's just not what we have here. And it looks like we're rolling here, Jonathan.
It looks like we're rolling. I've got another trivia question. What other sport is Adam Andretti into?
That's a good one. It is a motorsport. I'll give you a hint.
Yeah. And they were racing today.
They raced today. Now,
and I have no idea what happened.
I don't either, but if it's as exciting as qualifying was yesterday in Qatar, sign me up for the rest of the year.
I know. It's going to be a good year.
It is. It really is. But if we haven't picked up on the hint, MotoGP is definitely. One of our cats' names is Tino for Valentino Rossi.
There you go. There you go. I've had the glorious opportunity to hang out with the great man at Colin Edwards' boot camp, where I did some dirt tracking with him.
At the ranch.
At the ranch.
Yeah.
And it was so much fun. And I got him to sign a boot. And I said to him, sign this boot and say, nobody can fit in my boots. And he said, this is my boot. No one can wear.
You do a good Valentino.
I'm very happy.
You're very happy.
I'm very happy.
Yamaha.
Okay, let's get back to the action. As you can see, they are warming the tyres. Adam, again, take me through the procedure, because I'm always fascinated to see how you go about this procedure. And it can turn out to be the make and break. It looks as though they're just sort of waiting to go racing, but actually, this procedure now, this sort of winding up to restarting, is so important.
Absolutely, it's a lot of things, right? First of all, for the car, we're scrubbing the tires, we're getting any dirt buildup that's come on the tires from coming down pit road, we're getting that off of there, going hard on the brakes, accelerating hard, and making sure that we spin the rear tires up to where they get just enough grip, to where you have that grip so when you go for it. And then for yourself as a driver, getting your head in the game, keeping your shoulders warm, getting all that back into activity because you sat here on pit road. It's just like if you're at the gym working out and you take a break and you get back into the workout. If you jump right into it, it's a little bit more of a challenge. But if you ease into it, get a little warm up in, just like this, then you go back into that workout, and it's a much better deal. So that's what they're doing here, getting all set. The lights are off in the pace car, so we're going to go green right away here.
Really important restart for Sam Mayer. You heard a really good insight into the 17-year-old saying he's watching Futrelle very closely. He's made a couple of mistakes before. He's waiting to pounce at the right time. One of those times could be now at the restart, but Futrelle was very good last time. Let's see what he does this time as they come under the bridge and get ready to go racing again. Green flag waves.
Spun the tires there. Spun the tires. Connor's going to get him.
Oh, he is.
Yep, Connor's going to get him.
Here we go. Sam Mayer all over the back of Futrelle.
Oh, I mean Sam, sorry about that.
Sam Mayer.
My apologies. Sam got him.
And he's gone to the inside, and surely he's got the move. Yes, he has. Sam Mayer takes the lead of this race. But back comes Futrelle. Side by side over the crest. Futrelle's got him again. Now, what did Mayer do wrong there?
That was, wow. I mean, that was Franklin. I don't know, Sam did nothing wrong. That was all Franklin. Franklin just stood on the gas up the hill. It stuck, and that was an amazing move.
Well, Thomas Merrill now under pressure also from Rafa Matos. Merrill behind him. Conor Mosak's in the hunt as well. But it is Franklin Futrelle back into the lead. Sam Mayer will be kicking himself now, having had the brilliant start. And what did Futrelle do wrong? Bit of wheel spin?
Yeah, Futrelle spun his tires right down here at the bottom of the hill in the turn, and that cost him the time and gave Sam that great run into turn one. But I think he had Sam pitched so far down the bottom that it caused Sam to have to push way out to the outside. And Franklin had a little bit better entry there into turn one and was able just to drive up the hill on the outside.
Still a long way to go in this, just over 45 minutes, 15 of the 40 gone. We've had a major incident with Michael Self going off into the tyre wall. That put us under effectively a black flag situation, but now we're running again, and down the hill they come. Futrelle leads from Mayer. Merrill is third. Rafa Matos up to fourth place, and Mike Skeen just ahead of Conor Mosak. Good restart. Clean restart, more importantly.
Nice clean restart. Franklin seems to have a car that's really good on that short run, right? We saw this in the last run before the caution and the consequential red flag was that he was definitely catching. Sam was catching Franklin. Now Franklin here in the early runnings off this restart seems to be pulling away a little bit. So we'll see Sam now as the tires start to get hot. I bet you Sam closes that gap again.
Yeah, no question about it. Misha Goikerberg looking very racy as well in the midfield now as the cars start to spread out as they run down towards turn 6.
Now, I don't know if you gentlemen got to hear what Conor Mosak had to say, but he says his car keeps getting stronger and stronger. So look for him to try to work his way through the field. But, man, what a tough field of cars he's got in front of him.
Yeah, I know, exactly.
I mean, you got no slouch right in front of you there with Rafa Matos. And Matos just like just like a cougar in the background, waiting to prance on its prey here.
Yeah.
Just sitting there hanging out. So down the long back straightaway here, this is a nice approach into the chicane here for Mike Skeen. He seems to be protecting. Yes, he is. He's protecting from Conor there. I thought he was taking a little different approach.
No, he's having to take that approach because he's all over the back of him. And as they head down the front straight again, Skeen under pressure, trying to push on, obviously. As through come the leader, Sam Mayer, jinks to the inside, can't do it. Futrelle closes the door. Mayer hounding at the front on Futrelle. Land from Georgia, Augusta, Georgia. He was born, I believe.
Yeah, Sam's just trying to collect it from the top of the S's down. He was a little bit loose at the top there, and boy, by the time they got to the bottom of the S's, he was right back on Franklin.
Yeah, this is where Mayer looks really strong. He comes out of the hill at 5 and really gets on the gas early, and then starts to try and make a move between 6 and maybe even 7. Get on the gas early at 7 and then make that run down to 10.
Adrian Lostowski looking strong against Scott Lagasse Jr. right there.
I'm amazed at how quickly he's adapted.
Adrian? Yeah, he's done a fantastic job. He really has. And, you know, he's got a tribute to Dale Earnhardt on the side of the car there in memory of Dale. He runs the number 3 in that. And so always a little extra motivation, too. You know, I know that from experience.
Ricky Sanders in the pit box. Now, that looks kind of terminal, doesn't it?
Yeah, he
possibly,
was the one that was stuck on the side of the road right before 6. But here's the battle. Mike Skeen, Connor Mosack under the bridge. Mike Skeen ahead, but Connor Mosack, I think, has the stronger car, but nobody can make a car wider than Mike Skeen.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, that's true. No, he is very talented in many ways, and making a car wide is certainly one of them.
Connor Mosack and the Nick Taylor car, that's his dad's company. They make very high-end men's underwear, the most comfortable in the world.
So
Nick
after
Taylor.
you've had your Rafa shower with your Rafa soap.
I'm going to be well groomed.
We have a little spin here in the 54.
Yeah, he just, well, I don't know what he did there, but he came down to an almost standstill, but he's still going. Let me ask you this, Adam. When you're in Mike Skeen's position as he is now, how hard is it to drive literally with one eye looking forward and literally one eye looking back? Because he's really got to be covering himself.
It's
now.
Honestly supernatural. I mean, it's not supernatural. It's very natural to be able to do that. You know, you find it in the car very natural to do it because you're catching more of the mirror with your peripheral vision than staring at it. You know, we certainly drive a race car differently than we drive a road car in that aspect. You know, you're focusing forward. And then it's just little glances at the mirror, a little bit of side of the eye.
Connor Mosack looking inside, coming into 10A on Mike Skeen, last year's TA2 champion. But Mike Skeen's going to set him up for 10B, I think.
It's close stuff, and Mosack just
Try to
through.
keep it. Try to keep it.
He's through.
Good racing.
Now let's see what he does with hunting down Rafa Matos up here and the rest of this gang. Because that top 4 has definitely done a little bit of a breakaway move here.
Great overtake then by Connor Mosack, another one of the youngsters racing for Scott Lagasse Racing.
So Connor's got about 3 seconds to make up here on Rafa and catch that group.
Yeah, but he hasn't dispensed with Mike Skeen yet, certainly in the mind of Mike Skeen anyway. There's the number 48 of Jimmy Johnson. Oh, wait, no, it's Scott Borchetta.
Yeah, and like I said, Scott Borchetta had to start last. He got new tires for this session. Started last, but is working his way through the field. I spoke to him earlier, and his goal is top 10.
You know, sometimes you start on that fresh rubber. We saw, you know, at Sebring, you know, with Chris Dyson starting with that fresh rubber at the tail. That's a nice advantage when you have 5 less laps on your tires, on these Pirelli tires, and everyone else when the 100 miles is getting to draw to an end. So,
yeah, he's battling now. That's Tom Sheehan right in front of him. Got around Rhett Barco. Then he's got Keith Prochuk in front of him, but he's moved his way up to 14th right now. So that's awesome. Scott Borchetta, good stuff.
Yeah, that's very good stuff. Tom Sheehan currently in 13th position. Doug Peterson out, as we saw. And here comes that battle for the lead again. Futrelle hanging on in there. I say that, hanging on in there. He's doing a heck of a job of racing hard.
Phenomenal job.
Let's see what Borchetta has here on Ironman Tom Sheehan and his LTK insulation versus Big Machine Spike Cooler. Connor's put a little gap between he and Skeen.
He has put a little gap between he and Skeen. He lost about a half a second to Matos on that lap. So now that he's got clean air, he's really going to have to answer that call and hunt down that group in front of him to have a shot at this thing.
One man we haven't mentioned so far in 11th place, Tyler Casera, chasing down Misha Goikberg. And of course the experience of Misha Goikberg. Tyler Casera just new effectively to the championship, having come in last year, did not a full season, but did several races, and now doing the full season this year. And part of the same team, I think. Is he with BC again?
No, he's with Silver Hair, Tyler Caceres.
That's right.
Correct.
Yeah, with Silver Hair Racing.
He
I
did
spoke
run
to
with
him.
BC last year for a while.
I spoke to him at. Oh no.
19 of Ricky Sanders.
Yeah, Ricky Sanders coming back in.
Yeah,
Go ahead. You
coming
spoke
back
to
in.
him?
I spoke to him earlier, and he is not happy. He said that he just can't get a good setup. We know that he's the talent because he won the race at VIR, did really well there. Same car. He's with a different team, but he just can't get the setup. They just don't have the data here at Michelin Raceway Road Atlanta.
Yeah.
As some of the other guys do. He just doesn't have the experience here. But look for him to really move up. He's very competitive with himself, and as we're looking at a bigger gap now between the top 4, and then Connor Mosack, he's still keeping about the same gap to Rafa, it seems like.
Yeah, just losing a Scotia time. We lost about a quarter of a second that time to Rafa. It's so much easier to judge. It's so much easier when you get a little bit closer to get that sniff, as I talked about. The 16 car spinning
that's Jim
downhill.
Gallagher. Look out, Adrian.
Bad spot, but everyone's getting through there clean.
Yeah,
Everyone's
we're
getting
watching
through
an
there clean.
incident from our window here at the commentary booth where Jim Gallagher's gone around there. You see it now from our camera 1 position, and that was a nasty moment there for Jim. He was right in the middle of no man's land, so to speak, on the race line.
You come over the hill there, that curbing on the outside, it really sucks up on you, and that's what happened. He got on the other side of the curbing, hit the grass, and a nice little lazy spin down the hill. No harm, no foul.
Yeah. So just over 37 minutes to go. Franklin Futrelle still leading from Sam Mayer. Mayer trying to close that gap. You can see it for yourself from the drone. It's about as big as it's been in the last few laps. This is also a good battle too between Thomas Merrill, who of course won that first race at Sebring, and the man behind him, Rafa Matos,
who was on the podium at Sebring. So the top talent in this TA2 field, I know I keep saying it, is just unbelievable.
I'm seeing something in Rafa here. He's coming on strong, and I think he's going to make a move here on Merrill before too long, and start gunning for those top 2. He doesn't. What he's seeing is that gap grow to the top 2, and he doesn't want that to grow anymore.
Adam, we talked about tyre management in Trans Am, and of course it's a critical time now in this race with 36 minutes to go. Is this the sort of time where you start to think about that as an issue?
Absolutely. I mean, from the drop of the green, you're thinking about tire management, right? You don't want to spin the tires. You don't want to have any kind of lockup or anything along those lines. So absolutely always thinking about tire management in these long 100-mile races where you don't get to change tires. With a big, heavy car like this, with all that horsepower around a track here like Michelin Raceway Road Atlanta that's pretty active on the car, absolutely you're thinking about that. I know that I personally have lost a race here because I didn't take care of my tires. There you go. So
speaking of tires, Scott Borchetta is up to 12th now, so it's definitely working in his favor.
Absolutely. No, I'm telling you. I mean, I watched these guys qualifying yesterday. Some of them did 7-8 laps of qualifying. That's 8 laps on your tires.
Yeah, Franklin did 8 or 9, and Sam Mayer, pole position, only did 5. So he's got 4-lap fresher tires.
Wow, Franklin just must have a huge gap. I'm guessing that Sam might have had a mistake, but then
Edward Savajian in the pits. Edward Savajian, Big Machine Vodka racer.
I feel like Franklin found another gear and just took off because the gaps didn't change from Sam through Rafa, but boy did Franklin just take off from that group.
Yeah, he did 1.2, 1.3 seconds faster in that last lap.
Yeah.
And here we go, Scott Borchetta looking at Tom Sheehan. Look at that gap. That's a pretty car right there.
Yeah, you like that.
Makes me thirsty. It does. It looks really good. Whatever that spike cooler is, that just looks tasty.
That's what you want out of a livery.
Yeah.
For your partners, is that it motivates just like that, Ben. So
yeah,
I'm sure they're loving to hear that from you.
Well, let's not forget the LTK insulation too. That makes me feel warm inside.
Makes you feel warm inside.
Well, it's funny you should say that. The HP tuners does the same for me.
Yeah, makes you feel faster.
Yeah,
it's good.
That's a great battle.
That's Keith Prochuk, Tom Sheehan, followed by Scott Borchetta, all the way up to 12th place, starting last. That's good stuff.
That is good stuff. Making a good run at this, and he's certainly done the hunt down at this point.
Good shot of John Cloud there, looking for his Masters win in that Ultimate Headers blue Camaro.
See what I mean about Franklin? He's just like taking off.
Yeah.
Yeah, officially the gap is 1.8 seconds, so he's really done a good job in the last few laps of building that gap on Sam Mayer.
John Cloud is always in the hunt in SVRA with Group 10 or Group 6 championships, the Enduros. I think he does more track time in a SVRA Trans Am weekend than anybody else, other than maybe Scott Borchetta.
Ernie Francis Jr. is giving a run for his money this weekend,
too.
too.
Yeah, he is. And I spoke to him, and he talked about how physical those FRA cars are.
Yeah, I'll bet.
Yeah, FRA cars are very, very physical. I drove an equivalent to those back in 2000, a Formula 3 car. And it's a completely different training regimen that you have to put yourself through as an athlete to drive those two different disciplines.
Well, what is it? What's the physicality mainly? It's on the neck?
Yeah, it's your seating position of the car. It's mainly in your shoulders and your upper arms.
Right.
You know, and in these cars, you sit more upright and you have more leverage on the steering wheel, and you have power steering. In an FRA car, no power steering. You're laid back, kind of in a lounge position, and you don't have that leverage on the steering. So
Gotcha.
it's a heavy workout here at Michelin Raceway Road Atlanta, as we talked about. Very physical place.
And I got to give it up for Maurice Hall and Kurt Vogt. 15 and 16, but they are battling for the TA2 Masters, and they are neck and neck the last time they came around. So number 57 of Maurice Hall and the number 23 of Kurt Vogt, as they get around the lap traffic, Franklin Futrelle and Sam Mayer's trying to close the gap a little bit.
Well, and Rafa's been caught out as Merrill goes through and Cloud goes up the hill into the clouds as Rafa gets past him.
Yeah, that was unfortunate for Futrelle, where he caught Cloud to lap him, was right up here over the hill, and it's just really kind of a sketchy plot where you just don't know where to put the car, and that allowed Sam to claw back some of that gap that Franklin worked so hard to build.
Tyler Casera into the pits.
Oh, bummer. Their troubles continue, and I gutted for them. I know they'll figure it out. They just, most important thing at this point, stay calm and relaxed as a group, come together and really just sort that thing out and hit the track running again when they get to Laguna.
So we've got just over half an hour left on this race as into the pits comes Tyler Casera, winner last year at VIR and a runner-up in our E-Trans Am Championship in 2020.
I got to brag on my buddy there, Tony Garcia. He is working so hard. Just had his birthday, and he's down there. I bet you he's run 6 miles today with a 50-pound camera on his shoulders.
It's beautiful.
He has, quite literally, yeah.
Well, thank you and happy birthday.
Yeah.
We celebrated a birthday in our garage here today. It was AJ, our owner, AJ Hendrickson. It was his birthday yesterday.
Nice.
He's still 29.
What do you reckon they're working out here?
Who knows? It could be a plug wire. I might have thought a plug wire came off.
Something hot.
Yeah, no, everything underneath that hood right now is screaming at you. No, don't touch me, don't touch me, don't touch me.
Yeah. I put some gloves on. Yeah, he's offered him some gloves now.
Yeah, so that's what we're seeing here is a possible plug wire. I think they might be thinking they lost a plug wire or might have lost a plug wire.
So at that point, you're basically going down a cylinder then, huh?
You're down a cylinder, and these, when you're starting off with right around 500 horsepower, it really crushes your horsepower.
Yeah,
you know, I was down a cylinder in the TA car, and I was down to about a horsepower of a TA2 car.
This is our Masters race right here. That is Maurice Hall, number 57, followed by Kurt Vogt. They both also race in our SVRA in different groups, so these guys know each other very well, fighting hard to win the Masters. It's very tough because usually Doug Peterson's in the hunt too.
Right.
But with him being out, this might be a good Masters. So Maurice Hall was our co-champion last year with Doug Peterson, and Kurt Vogt's looking for his Masters win here.
It's an awesome battle. They got a really good run going here, the both of them. So it's fun to see, you know, the Masters out there really duking it out and putting on a good race.
Yeah, Kurt Vogt, the president of the Shelby Club.
That's right.
In
I
that
didn't know
white
that.
Ford Mustang. Yeah, he's the
go.
head honcho.
So we have a lead change. We have a lead
You're right.
change.
Futrelle has taken the lead.
Yeah.
You are right.
Yeah, we have Sam Mayer in the lead for Futrelle.
That's
We'll love to
interesting.
know when that happened.
Yeah, because that's taken us by surprise a bit.
I'm guessing I was coming down into 10A, 10B.
That might have been a mistake because Mayer was about 4 lengths, car lengths behind him a minute ago.
Yeah, agreed. I think you're right on, Jonathan.
13 laps left, and we have a lead change in TA2. It's good stuff.
That is good stuff. We'll see what Sam's able to do with that lead now. No, Sam said that it was the aero deficiency that was holding him back from Futrelle.
That's right,
so
yeah.
Now that he's got clean air, everything Sam wanted, he's got now. So let's see what he does with it. I'm sure he's going to take sail, but Franklin's got a different story. As you can see, he's not going to let go so easy.
Just got word from control. Kelly just told me that number 38 of Edward Savajian, Big Machine Vodka, has retired.
Yeah, we saw him in the pits.
That's a bummer. Hate to hear that. A lot of hard work goes into these weekends, and you just hate to see anyone's day come to an end early.
Yeah, the satisfying weekend can sometimes be just actually getting to the end.
100%, absolutely. That's kind of where we were at in our TA race with the troubles we were having. As long as we got to load a car in the trailer, we were going to be happy.
Yeah.
So now look for Sam Mayer. He thinks his car is hooked up. He's in the lead coming up the hill. The car is going to get light, but man, I don't know how much Sam Mayer knows about Franklin, but Franklin's probably got more laps here than almost anybody in the field.
Tommy Sheehan also coming in to the pits, so that could be a retirement for Tommy.
That's a shame. Yeah, no, we don't want to see that. I saw Tommy and spent some time with Tom this weekend, and he just loves coming out here. I said, is there anything you want me to say to the fans out there watching these T2 races? And he just wants everyone to know how much fun he's having.
Good.
Really having a blast racing in TA2. He is TA2's Iron Man, after all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So here they come.
What is it, 106 races
lap
now?
traffic.
I believe so. Yeah, this is
a tough spot. That's Matt Parent right there in front of Sam Mayer.
Couldn't have found a worse spot to get some traffic, that's for sure. Hopefully they'll see the blue flags. A great opportunity coming up on the back straightaway just to kind of pedal the thing.
Yeah, that is slowing him down. And if Futrelle's going to make a lunge back at him, this is his opportunity because they get stuck there at 7.
Futrelle did a big wide entry there on turn 7. He's looking to get a big run down that back straightaway and take advantage of this.
Matt Parent hasn't raced a car in oh, that's Kurt Vogt with the tire. It looks like the tire's rubbing some damage.
On the
he's coming in. He's coming in.
Hope he didn't hit Maurice.
So what happened, I think, there is he got off track, and remember how soft the ground I was speaking about because of the rain. I think that dug into the splitter and kind of just tore the right front there and gave him some big cosmetic damage.
Well, Mayer using the traffic well here at the moment.
It's Doug Winston with the split there.
Yeah, that was a very well done there.
Oh, and Rafa gets held up too in that traffic as he tries to continue his attack on Thomas Merrill.
Oh, looks like I got clean through. Oh, boy, that was tight there. There they go.
Rafa Doug Winston.
Oh, no.
Great job from Matt Parent there to miss that as he skids up the hill. And now Connor Mosack is going to pick up a position, as is Scott Lagasse Jr. Doug Winston stuck there with his fast auto Camaro right at a bad blind spot of turn 1.
Rafa is seeing red right now.
He is, absolutely.
I tell you, when a lap car does not give you the room that you're thinking they're going to give you, and you're fighting for tooth and nail, and you're up there in the top 5, top 4 in Rafa's case, boy, that's frustrating.
Full course yellow. I just got word from control.
Okay, full course yellow is out, but we'll take a look at what just happened, which could be a really big factor in this race. Let's take a look. Guys, your call.
So you're going to see back here, Rafa thinks the door's open here, right, going in for traffic, and it looks open, and I would have taken the same thing. The 98 car just squeezes him, and when you're pinching the wheel that tight, Rafa had nowhere to go other than to lose it right there and have an unfortunate spin. But you were just hoping at that point, as the car doing the overtaking, being one of the leaders, that you're hoping that you were going to get that room that you need to keep up with that lead pack. So just a racing deal,
That's Doug Winston coming through the pit lane counter, which isn't suggested, but that's probably the best thing he could have done at the time. And now safety car couldn't get out because he was blocking it.
Yeah, it's ironic.
Those are the reasons they don't like you going the other direction.
Yeah.
Because you become unpredictable. So that's, they want you to stay in race direction for a big reason, or you're better off just staying put or being towed in. But they're going to bunch this group up, and like I said, Rafa's seeing red.
Yeah, definitely.
And so this full course yellow, honestly, probably is the best case scenario for him, having that happen to him, and to claw some of those spots back. Because right now for him, he's thinking championship. What did that do to my championship already? I know we're only the 2nd race in, but these are short seasons, relatively short.
Yep.
And so I know he's thinking championship.
So let's start in first place. The number 8, Sam Mayer, followed by Franklin Futrelle. Thomas Merrill in 3rd. Connor Mosack, according to timing and scoring, is in 4th. Nice job, Connor. Mike Skeen, 5th. Rafa Matos is in 6th, so he dropped 2 spots because of that incident that I don't think was Rafa's fault. Misha Goikberg, 7th. Scott Lagasse, 8th. Barry Bowes in the top 10.
Good boy.
9th.
Yeah,
Keith
that's a good
Prochuk,
run.
10th. Scott Borchetta, 1 spot away from the points, and in 10th place, not really the points, that's in Formula One. Followed by Rhett Barcode, 12th, Adrian Lostovsky, Maurice Hall, Bruce Raymond, Matt Parrott, John Cloud, Kurt Vogt drops to 18th, Doug Winston, 19th, Tom Sheehan, Edward Savajan, 21st, Jim Gallagher, Tyler Casera, 23rd, Doug Peterson, Michael Self, and Ricky Sanders is 26th.
Yeah, the only one I would point out is that Tommy Sheehan has already pulled into the pits.
Yep.
So, sadly, his 20th position will not be so. We've just heard that the
Well, I think
safety
there's
car
only
should be
18
gone.
cars still on.
Lights are out
yeah,
on the
of course.
safety car, and we're 10 laps to go.
Now we've got a sprint on. Come on, Skeen, show us what you got.
Yeah, this is going to be a wonderful, wonderful, and another great end to a TA2 race here.
Jonathan, did you just play your hand and tell us who you're rooting for?
Oh, I might have done. Well, no, I've watched Mike Skeen race so many times
Yeah.
before that when he sees an opportunity with 10 to go, he's
And
going to
he's
take
such
it.
a tactician, too. I didn't know if you were like on DraftKings and looking for Mike Skeen to win this thing.
I'm still going. I know that how fast that 58 car Franklin Futrelle is on
Yeah.
a restart. That is a super fast car on restart, so
And
I'll
he's
be
got
anxious
tucked
to
up,
see.
yeah.
Here we go.
Here we go then. The restart of our TA2 race from Road Atlanta gets underway. Futrelle dives to the inside of Sam Mayer, but will he make it stick? Everybody jostling for position. Here comes Skeen. Who predicted that, I wonder?
I think I'm sitting next to him.
On Connor Mosack. Nice.
Whoa!
Oh, no one predicted that, though. That was a big moment.
Commentator's curse.
Yep, absolutely. New overalls, please, for the Liqui Moly man.
Yeah,
and back comes Connor.
This is a great race right here.
And
These
it's
two
side by side. Oh,
side
you
by
can
side
see.
to the S's. This is fun right here. This is only you can only do that with drivers you trust, and those are two great talents right there to be able to go through that.
Well, fantastic camera work from our cameraman on board. Brilliant stuff.
There's Futrelle showing his early pace when on a restart again. That thing is
Misha
really
Goiberg.
hooked up.
Scott Lagacy.
Yep.
Ooh, this could get
This
good.
rivalry.
Oh,
Oh,
they touch big time. And
contact
Goiberg's out of
again.
control, and somehow they stay together through there.
Oh, they're both
Would
not
you
gonna like that.
They're not going to like that.
So Scott got loose there. Scott got loose there in turn 6, and that to save it, he had to come to the inside. That was unintentional, but from Misha's point of view,
That's not going to be.
he's thinking that, man, that guy just ran right into me.
Yeah.
But that was purely unintentional.
Sam Mayer looking for the move, and that is textbook Road Atlanta.
But Franklin took it back
Yeah.
from Sam Mayer at between 7 and
look,
10,
it's
and then
coming
took
right
it
back.
back.
Oh, yeah.
It's coming right back, and here comes Franklin again.
Thomas Merrill's in the best position, I think, right now.
Thomas
Yeah.
is licking his chops. He is loving the action in front of him. He says, keep it up, boys, because I'm going to pounce.
This is great stuff, and now Connor Mosack in a really good position.
Yeah, closing
in
the gap.
5th place.
No, 4th.
4th place now.
Yeah.
Wow.
We knew this restart was going to give us some
Yeah.
drama, and boy, it did not disappoint.
No, it didn't.
Right now, Thomas's car looks really strong. Like, he seems to be getting the grip somehow.
I agree. Yeah, his car does look strong, but Franklin on these short runs, right after a restart, boy, that 58 car is hooked up. That's another M1 chassis. No difference. So this would be, this is right now an M1 1.2 chassis-wise.
Yeah.
M4.
N4, yeah. I'm sorry. Excuse me. Yeah, N4.
Down into 6 one more time. Borchetta still pushing on. He's up to, what, 10th place now in the
Barku
top
making
10.
a big run down there, and that was
Yeah.
a nice little pass, and they're sliding in there. We call that in the dirt racing, we call that a slide job.
A slide job.
Well, we got to brag more on this M1. So we're in 2nd place. It's in 4th place. And then Scott Lagacy's in 8th place in an M1 chassis. Scott Borchetta, I believe, is in an M1 chassis in
Yes,
10th
yes,
place.
sir, yeah.
So M1 coming out of nowhere right now, and
They
now
are.
they've got a good field here at
They are.
Road Atlanta.
Oh, boy, Sam is loose. Man, he has no rear grip in that car. And I think Thomas, it's only a matter of time before he pounces. Sam came over the hill there dead sideways, coming down the...
And there's nothing Thomas Merrill likes to see that in a car in front of him. Because now he knows he's also a tactician. Look at how wide he has to go there coming out of 1.
Yeah, Sam is definitely struggling with some handling here in the late stages. He's going to have his hands full with Thomas. And
Yeah, he's sideways everywhere.
yeah, Thomas is thinking, man, I just need to get around this kid so I can attack Futrelle.
Yeah,
so we can
absolutely.
have a little Skip Barber battle here up with 1-2.
Well, Merrill's not going to waste any time trying to get past. He's going to get tucked up as soon as he can because there's no question that Mayer definitely struggling here. Futrelle not going off into the distance quite, but not far off. He's 0.9 ahead, and he'll want to extend that to over a second with time running out. 33 of the 40 gone. On board with Mike Skeen now in 5th place.
Yeah, Mike Skeen making a real clean run there through 7. Nice and straight on the exit, getting the power down. You'll see him 6,800. He's going to pull a shift. Going to pull top gear here. Run that 4th gear all the way down the hill here. 10A, 10B. Mike is a monster under the brakes.
Misha Rafa.
Nice. Yeah. Misha got him. So Misha Goldberg getting past Rafa Matos, having a disappointing race. Rafa usually loves Road Atlanta.
I wonder if any of that contact with Misha has hurt Scott Lagasse Jr. a little bit. Seems to be falling behind.
You never know, possibly. It could cause a vibration. It could have done.
Definitely made Misha faster.
Yeah.
That might be a little anger.
He wanted to run away. Yeah.
Well, I was about to say, the one guy I know who gets back, I don't know, 30% faster when he's hangry is, of course, Rafa.
Borchetta and Keith Procek. This is going to be a good battle here.
Very good battle. I mean, I'm going to say this cautiously. It looks like Scott Borchetta is just having the race of his life here today.
He really is. And, you know, we forget, this guy isn't, you know, he hasn't been a racing driver all his life.
No.
At all. And he has just come on in leaps and bounds. I mean, he was pinching himself at Brainard when he got on the podium because he just joined TA Racing at that point, or TA2 Racing. And, you know, hey, he's got a real job.
Yeah, he's got a real job, but he's you know what he has too. When you talk to him, the thing that he has, that little X factor he has, is he's brave.
Yeah.
You know, he's just, you know that you're not going to put fear into the guy, and that's a lot of what we do in this sport. Especially, you know, a racetrack here like Michelin Raceway at Road Atlanta, you can't have fear in you around this place, or else you might as well stay home.
He's also got an amazing passion for cars. He showed me his collection.
Beautiful passion.
I know, and there's no question that he is living the dream.
Yeah,
literally.
We're really blessed to have someone like Scott Borchetta part of our paddock and be competing at the level that he is. I think we're all over the moon about it.
Yeah, no question. And he gives back too. He's done a lot of time and a lot of energy on races, both NASCAR, IndyCar, and of course Trans Am.
Absolutely. You know, he is very, very good for our sport that we all love, and
motorsports in general. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And people like that really you just got a huge appreciation for because of that.
So go out there and support him. Go get yourself some Big Machine hand sanitizer and vodka.
I have.
And any of those companies.
Drink the vodka.
I have.
Yeah, don't drink the hand sanitizer.
You can use the vodka as a hand sanitizer. I mean, it is pretty strong stuff.
But why waste it?
That's exactly right.
Here we go. Sam Mayer now catching back up to Franklin.
So we've got a real doozy of a finish here, and it's certainly not predicted yet by any means. Mike Skeen putting some pressure on here as we go on board with the TA2 man. Mike Skeen, brilliant champion and a great race driver, but it's not had the perfect weekend this by any means.
And I tell you, when you're 5 to go here at Michelin Raceway at Road Atlanta, one of two things. When you're leading it here, you feel like that's kind of 5 laps is going to last forever.
Ooh,
when you're chasing.
Whoa, Sam almost butted into the back of Futrelle, lost his braking there and almost smashed into the back of his opponent. And Merrill must be sensing the opportunity soon.
So Sam right now, you know, he's run out of time. He's only got 4 laps left. He's going to need to really collect himself, get this gap back under control. He lost a little bit of time with that mistake into the chicane, so he'll get it back. Very talented young man, as we've said so many times before.
Well, they're all running out of grip, aren't they?
Oh yeah, this is the point of the race where you're hanging on for dear life. You know, we spent our day in the rain in TA.
Sure.
This is what it feels like for these TA2 cars now. They feel like they're on the rain right now. They're really pedaling the cars, getting, you know, trying to control the wheel spin.
Who I wouldn't want to be right now is Connor Mosack. Knowing Mike Skeen, he always saves a little something for the last 5 laps, and look at him, he's right behind Connor.
Yeah. He's on the attack. Yeah, he is definitely on the attack, tucking into the draft here. He's going to really get, if you watch this, if you watch Mike, if they keep with here right through 7, he's going to take a real wide arc here. Watch here, and he's going to get that run. Going to try and take this real big run on Connor here. Tuck in on that draft.
Yep. Well, he was 3/10 quicker than him on the previous lap.
Connor's car looks good, though.
Connor did hook up. Away.
Yeah, he hooked up out of 7 there, so you're not going to get that run that he was hoping for.
But that's a gap.
I really honestly thought Mike was going to take a little wider arc in 7 than what he did.
Misha's showing Mike something.
think he might have been protecting. I didn't see Misha that was back there. Franklin is really showing what he's all about here today.
He's extended the lead now.
He's extended the lead. He stayed calm when he lost the lead and didn't overdrive. He's done a heck of a job.
And ironically, they're going faster than they have all race long at 1:25.2 now.
Yeah,
Sam Mayer getting sideways at 1.
We're light on fuel now.
Yeah.
You know, and these Pirelli tires are a good, durable tire. Like I said, they can run these qualifying laps, lap after lap.
Yeah, the top 3 all in the high 25s at the moment, but Franklin Futrelle 25.2 to Mayer's 25.8 last time out.
Yeah, he is certainly on it. Franklin is in his zone, and it is going to be tough to break it of it. I'm experienced as an instructor at some of the racetracks on the Trans Am Series, and I know when we show up at those places, you're not going to break me at all, because you just have a certain amount of confidence when you're around that place. You can drive around. I'm sure Franklin can drive around this place almost with his eyes closed.
Yeah.
And when you have that advantage, it's huge. It's absolutely huge. You can't discount that. That's for sure.
That's very true. So we're coming down to the closing stages of our TA2, our finale here at Michelin Road Atlanta, Michelin Raceway Road Atlanta, and it's been a cracking weekend of SVRA, Trans Am, FR, and F4. I hope you've enjoyed watching on our app, and stay with us this season, because I think we're going to have this week in, week out.
Franklin is cracking off minute 25 flats like it's his job. He is just doing an awesome job right here in the latter stages of this races. He's doing exactly what he needs to do to seal this up, and you got Rafa tucked right on the tail here.
Scott Lagacy.
Yeah, Lagacy.
Yep. So
this
Rafa, having
race.
spun round, is now on the tail, as you say, of Scott Lagacy.
Yep. Trying to salvage something for points here. He's 8th right now. You know, if your bad days can be top 7s,
yeah,
that's what you want. You got to manage the bad days, and this is what he's doing. This is what a champion like Rafa does.
And of course, with Doug Peterson out of the race in the other three-dimensional car, he'll want to get a decent result for the team and bring it home.
Absolutely, absolutely. You know, the boss is going to be disappointed that his day didn't go as well as he wanted, and so when he can bring back and salvage something, of course, yeah, that's what you want. Boy, Scott, it gets really loose through turn 6 there an awful lot. It really gets loose.
Now let's keep in mind that that car was a pile of tubes just 3 weeks ago, so that's still impressive that he's out there doing this.
And like I said, you know, he's always R&D'ing something. So right now he's got something that looked really good on the early stage of the race and had a lot of speed, but maybe worked the tire a little bit too hard or something along those lines.
Well, Futrelle has pulled the pin without a doubt. That last lap of 25.4. And again, a 25.8 by Mayer, and the gap now 2.5 seconds, and just the right time for Franklin Futrelle. And for a guy who got on the podium here last year in November, he's now finished the deal with potential win here if he holds it all together. Mayer will hold on to 2nd place, but he's still got the attention of Merrill, which isn't over yet.
It's so great for that little race team too. You know, like I said, they had that club racers, you know, mentality here in a pro racers paddock. They had a for rent sign on the side of the thing, and I mean, a little kid in the paddock this morning goes, "Mom, Dad, look, that car's for rent." You know, so I mean, it's really great for the sport what they're doing here, and I know, like, they're saying they're going to bring spec races here just to mix up this points championship. So if you're a great spec racer and you want to show what you got on the pro levels here in TA2, I would call that group, because they got the really fast race car, and Franklin's proven that.
Yeah, it's very true.
And look at this. That's our battle right there for Keith Prochuk and Scott Borchetta for the top 10.
He's lost his door.
He has. Yeah, Scott has lost his door.
No, that's Keith.
Oh, Keith, excuse me.
Prochuk,
excuse me. Pardon me. Yeah, that is Keith.
HP Tuners.
I didn't know they solved that part.
And that's Sam Mayer. Thomas Merrill, I think, is going to try to make a move here in this last lap.
Yeah. Well, he's been waiting to do it all race long, and he's the closest he's been in a while.
White
He got a decent run down the hill there. Connor's still struggling, or excuse me, Sam is still struggling coming up over the hill here.
So Merrill, well, this is the battle we want to watch now, because Futrelle has got this in the can, but can the 81 of Thomas Merrill do something here? He won the first race at Sebring in style, coming from the back.
Yeah, the only one that could beat Franklin at this point would be Franklin.
Lap traffic.
Mayer uses that traffic well.
That was great of John Cloud to see it. Get out of the way.
That was, because in the S's, I swear, you could be 15 seconds faster than somebody sometimes, and you're stuck behind them. So it takes definitely a lot of give from your competitors if you catch them in the S's than they are slower traffic.
Well, now Sam's pulled a little bit of a gap on Thomas. So we'll look for Thomas to try to make a dive bomb Thomas Merrill move at 10.
It would have to be, and it doesn't look like he's going to get the run. Connor's really working hard to make sure that he gets off a 7 right. He knows what he has to protect the second place finish for himself and his team, and that's what he's going to do.
So looking high above from the drone, we're going to see the closing stages of this as here come the leaders into the crucial corner 10. But Merrill isn't close enough to Sam Mayer. Futrelle's going to come through and take victory, but who's going to get second and third? Franklin Futrelle is going to take the checkered flag. Here he comes. There it is.
There it is. Good job.
Sam Mayer holds on to take second place.
What a great race.
Yep.
What a great race. Yep. You got Sam Mayer, Thomas Merrill, Connor Mosack, and Mike Skeen finishing out the top 5.
Yep. Good stuff. And Misha Goikova, good result for him too.
Absolutely. BC race cars, they work really hard. You know, you got Blaze Saida and his wife Penny, and they put together a great group to come out here. So, but this B2 Motorsports group, you couldn't be happier for that group.
No, absolutely not.